technology sector. So, before we start, my name is Annuza. I'm a subject matter expert at Microsoft, focused on the field of communication platforms and Microsoft Teams. So, I've been with Microsoft for around 5 years now, and I'm also an active member of the International Association of Remote Professionals, the IARP, as well as several other associations related to the field of information technology. My goal with this presentation is to show you guys what we do and how we have been contributing to the communication services in IT the last few years. So before we start, I would like to ask you guys why are communication services so important in IT? So with COVID and the lockdowns taking place all over the globe, we have this shift to the remote environment. So you guys must have experienced that with online classes. You have to migrate to Cisco WebEx, Zoom, all those other platforms. And that's the same happened with businesses. They had to conduct meetings, sales visits, internal communications, training and onboarding of new employees, brainstorming, performance reviews, and so on this online environment. And this is where Microsoft Teams comes in. This is where Google Meets come in, and all those other platforms that you guys know. So I'll be discussing my role as a subject matter expert, as well as the software developers and network administrators, and what they do with Microsoft and how they are helping this whole communication setting in the IT. So let's start with the SME role. So those are professionals focused on being professionals and experts in specific processes, functions, or technology. Sometimes even a combination of all three. So in my case, the technology here is Microsoft Teams. So those SMEs have to be able to be good at troubleshooting any errors that might occur. They have to be able to onboard new employees and customers, as well as having a basic understanding of the architecture. So you must know everything back end and front end. So since there's a lot of explanation and you have to onboard people to this platform, you need to have good communication skills. Usually businesses are looking for a bachelor's degree in business or computer science, but as long as you can show that you know a lot about the subject, you can always get in as well. So now we're going to talk about a software developer. So as the name suggests, a software developer designs computer applications and programs. So not only they have to design, they have to create those programs, they have to maintain it. And when we say maintain it, they have to keep up with updates, they have to keep up with bug fixes, and implementing new features that customers might be asking for. So that's why businesses are always looking for programmers. Usually those programmers have a bachelor's degree in computer and information technology, but as long as you can have a nice showcase of everything that you know what to do, you can still get hired with something as well as a high school diploma. Now we're going to talk about network administrators. Those are people responsible to day-to-day computer networks. So they have to organize, they have to install, and they have to support those networks. Some common networks that you guys might know of is intranet. So Canvas, for example, is a type of intranet. So servers, all those type of stuff. That's why you need to be good at troubleshooting and scoping errors. So Facebook went down, I think, last week, right? And that's a network administrative problem. So they have to find that problem quick and fix it as fast as possible. So usually, businesses are always looking for a professional with a bachelor's degree in a field related to computer or information science. And again, if you know what you're doing, they will hire you. So now that you guys know everything about why the skills are necessary and what those roles do, we'll talk a little bit about numbers. So let's start with the median salaries for each one of those roles. So for an SME, we have a median salary of $97,047. For a software developer, we have a median salary of $110,140. And for a network administrator, we have $84,810, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. and I couldn't find one for an SME because it's a new position. So I just found a lot on different sites, such as Indeed. So the job outlook. So this job outlook is focusing on the expected job growth in the next 9 years. So for an SME position, we have 14% growth. For software developer, a 22% growth, and for network administrator, a 5% growth. So for network administrators, that 5% is the managing growth. So it's people that are being laid off and new persons coming in. On the other hand, software developers and SMEs, they're a growing position. As you guys can see, software developers has around 409,000 new openings coming up in the next 9 years. So it's a really big sector. It's a really big role in the IT industry. So now we'll discuss where you should be. And so for this part, those sources are focusing on not only median salary, but job prospect and good quality of life. So we have the SME positions. We have Alabama, Texas, New York for the software developer, California, Texas, and Washington. And for network administrators, we have Texas, California, and New York. As you guys can see, Texas is all over the place. It's a place to be, I guess. But a lot of those roles usually support work from home. So if that's an option, you can always work from home. So why communication services in IT? So the IT industry by itself was a 4.8 trillion industry in 2020 and is expected to grow to a 5.2 trillion industry. And out of this 4.8 trillion in 2020, 1.41 trillion was valued to the communication services area in IT. So that counts to 29% of the entire budget, of the entire valuation of the industry. So you can expect excellent salaries, job security, and as I said before, the work from home options is starting to be experienced throughout Google, Microsoft, all those big industries. They're already implementing the option to work from home permanently. And yeah, that concludes my presentation. I hope I clarify any misconceptions or yeah, just show what I know. Any questions?